Prime Creator bestowed us with gifts beyond measure, that we might learn and grow and give. In a way, it's give and take. What we have been given, our senses, our intuition, our feelings, our discernment, are all provided miraculously for our needs, our survival, our growth, our stewardship, and our joy. And we are grateful. Social beings that we are, these gifts provide us a means to find our rightful place, our tribe, among the myriads of energies carried by those whose paths we cross. The resonance we feel when encountering one of our own is like coming home, that I know you feeling. Those of us doing what we're doing here now was not something we particularly knowingly sought. I often marvel and comment on how a higher purpose, guidance, spirit, creator energy put us all together here. This is our tribe. And despite our differences and idiosyncrasies, here we are and have been, occupying a shared energetic space that utilizes all the aforementioned gifts. The talents each of us provides, I marvel at, for we are average, humble people living our lives within the ordained confines as best we can. What is magical is the shared energies and bottom line, love, we have developed in all that we share and do. In the family of men and women with their progeny, we are blessed to have been put together by a higher hand who knew us better than we knew ourselves. It is with great gratitude to one another and to Prime Creator that we have found one another and are doing this work that we do. And so it is.
Hello, my name's Ron Vrooman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. I have a new identification now. I'm a widower. I'm learning a whole new set of skills. In addition to my main function, the assembly, returning to a constitutional Republican form of government, that function that I've had solid for the last 7 years is now divided. I am a surviving spouse. That has a whole new connotation. I'm dealing with death certificates. I'm dealing with all kinds of things I never thought I would have to do. My partner, my wife, I married her twice for 45 years, died. I was supposed to die first. I'm 14 years older. She was my trophy wife. She guided the finances and what we did for most of the time we were together. That's a long time. She was a competent businesswoman, ran a business for years. And I was a recipient of her largesse. Thank you. Now I have to do all the other things that I didn't have to do when all I had to do was be the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. I want to explain myself a bit. I hope you can read that. I can read that. I hope you can read that. Now this one. You see that? Continuous traveler. I was forced into that contract by the state of Oregon. I am now no longer a continuous traveler. And this card that identifies me is no longer good. And they want me to buy another one. That's forcing me into contract. And I dislike that. Now they ask for, would you provide some government issued photo ID? And I say, why, of course. And they usually don't accept that. This one has no expiration date. This expires when I do. This one is not for identification, but everybody uses it for identification. This one used to get me into the archives where I could figure out how to undo this thing that they're doing to us. Now we can't get in there. We've tried 3 times. They won't let us in. Now this one, that one I earned when I joined the Navy and fulfilled my obligations there. Now that's who I am. It's identified pretty solid. I've changed my address with the post office. It's now 14725 Southwest Glenbrook Road, Beaverton, Oregon, 97007. That's where the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly is now located and where I am located. So we have a different perspective going at our sheriffs now from my point of view. We're no longer general delivery, and I'm no longer a continuous traveler. We have brick and mortar, such as it is, and this is where we are. We have several issues going, and we need to review them with those that this is directed to. Primarily, Yamhill County Commissioners. There's 3 of them that I know of. I have been in contact with all 3 of them. Our court has visited their offices. We have talked to them in person. They know, and we know, that the sheriff on Yamhill County occupying the office of sheriff is not legitimately there. It's not done until the paperwork's finished, and it's not finished, and the deceit is obvious. It has to be corrected. Now, is it corrected properly, or will it be corrected some other way? We, the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly has a court. We also have a grand jury. And we also have a trial jury or a petite jury. We've had 9 grand juries, 2 of them on the park downtown Portland, across from the Marco Hatfield building. And we've had several others around the state. So grand jury we have. And having 6 years, I think, since the first one, without rebuttal, it's been accepted. And all that I'm going to say has been accepted by, acquiesced to, and defaulted to several times over. There is no argument in that area. They know who we are. They have even personally expelled us from the Marco Hatfield building. So, the U.S. DOJ downtown Portland, the U.S. Marshal Service downtown Portland, the FBI not so far downtown, and the United States Federal District Court of Portland, Courthouse 740, the GSA, and the DHS all know, all have acquiesced to, that we are Article 1, Section 1, the provisional government on Oregon. No argument on that. No argument on grand jury. And no argument on the findings and verdicts of our petite or trial juries. And we have met with many of those people many times. They know. We need to fix a way to make these people provide us with Article 4, Section 4. A provisional government is not a constitutional Republican form of government. Next, we have State of Oregon, aka all caps State of Oregon. That bunch, starting with Kate Brown, Tina Kotek, Peters retired, Dexter Johnson, 89 out of 90 of the legislatures, the entire Supreme and Appellate Court system, Article 4, pardon me, Article 7 amended, all caps, that bunch, they acquiesce to having no honor, having no oath, and unable to perform their job. And they're doing it in color law, knowingly and intentionally. That's not cool. That has to change. We have to have a judiciary with the proper oath to the proper constitutions, or we can't function as a social compact. Just like we have to have our sheriffs, every one of them, each and every one, and that has significance. It's not just everyone, and it's not just each one. It's each and every one. In the Oregon State Sheriff's Association, and filling the office of sheriff in all 36 counties, it has to be done by a man or a woman who is completely with the proper bona fides. ORS 206, you can just type it in. Oregon Revised Statute 206. It's not hard, it's not long. Read exactly what a sheriff's supposed to do. Every time. Not just once in a while or not just some of it, all of it, every time. Then the sheriff has to make deputies, proper deputies. Not this Mickey Mouse stuff that pulls ladies out of the car and handcuffs them side of the road, takes old men out of their van and leaves them beside the road and tows it. That kind of stuff by the Oregon State Police and our county sheriffs, that has to stop. There are two kinds of people on the land of Oregon: those with all of their unalienable rights of men and women, without ruler and without subjects, with their progeny on the land and soil. That's us. We are no longer deceived. Then you can have U.S. citizens. I was a U.S. citizen. Here's the card proving I was a U.S. citizen. 3 years, 11 months, and 28 days. I know exactly what I was and when I did it. I voted. I vote now. I can walk over and register and vote and then unregister. I don't have an oath to anything. I have fulfilled all of my contracts. Then I got a whole bunch of new contracts because I'm a surviving spouse. Now I have to divide my energies to defend myself in areas where I never thought I would have to. And that's because things aren't being run properly. They just aren't. I'm going through this whole situation and I can see it time after time. The system fails. It doesn't work right. The, the safeguards, the audits, the inventories, the analysis, the systems with feedback are not functioning. It's all color of law and it's all coming unglued, and we have to fix it. We have identified it. You have known about it as sheriffs and law enforcement on Oregon, to our knowledge, since 2017. It's time that you do the proper thing. Misprision of felony. You know it and don't change it. You need to fix it. Now, how do we do that? Well, we didn't know how to do what we've done so far until we did it. Read the prompts, do what we had to. They gave us COVID. Lying, cheating, deceiving, stealing, killing. It's got to stop. And you 36 sheriffs on Oregon is the place that it has to start properly. You have to do the job, and your deputies have to do the job. And the job is not what you think it is. I know you haven't read the contract that you're trying to fulfill. You're failing. You don't want to talk about it. Of course, you don't want to talk about it. Your legal counsel is fettered by the Oregon State Bar, and the Oregon State Bar requires us to do contract with it by the state of Oregon. That's not legitimate. You cannot require me to enter into a contract with a group like that. I do not need your service. You have to fulfill your proper contracts. I have to fulfill mine. Now I have to deal with all of this stuff. I get all the mail that I never answered or I never dealt with before for the last 20 years. I have not touched any of that. Now I got to. Now I find out a few of the things that used to bother me, but I quit letting them bother me because I didn't have to deal with them anymore. I didn't pay any of the bills. I didn't read any of the paperwork that came in. I didn't answer any of the letters. Now I find out they want to raise the taxes on water. They're charging water for what God sends out of the sky and falls on my property and runs off. They're charging me for that. Do you understand what this system has gotten to? They're doing that so that they can have a large water department and have meetings. We've gone to them. And have all these people sit around and decide stuff that should not be decided. And when they make a decision, it's wrong. They are fluoridating the water. And the new head of that department, what is it? Health. Trump just appointed her, a female, and she says fluoridation's good. Ignorant. It's got to stop. I don't know how to stop it, but it's got to stop. So, the widower is now part of the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. And I yield.
My name is Brandon Wingerter. I am the Deputy Clerk of Court on Marion County for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly, Article 3, Amendment 7, Civilian Court of Record. Where are our sheriffs? Our Article 3, Amendment 7, Civilian Common Law Court of Record has made numerous visits and relentless communications to our county sheriffs on Oregon. Why? Because our sheriffs are our first protection against governance overreach. It is our county sheriffs that should be there to assist seniors to prevent their eviction from their home and all they possess. It should be our county sheriffs who protect and defend the people from a corrupt court system, rather than ticketing them or supporting the illegitimate amended Article 7 courts. Our sheriffs seem to be avoiding any engagement with us, the people reaching out for a conversation about their refusal to see us. Contact requests are met with cricket sounds. Where are our sheriffs? It is significant that they take a proper oath to the Constitution circa 1859 with its original jurisdiction. That is, to the people rather than to a corporation. To our Creator, that is, with God included. Such a degeneration, an oath, is needed for there to be remedy in our system of governance. Let's get this ball rolling. It just takes one of you to make a difference, to get it started, to assist in awakening your colleagues in sheriffdom. Let it be so.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. And then he jumps out of the car. And he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.